Good evening, I'm Ian Hannamansing. Tonight, the economy grounded. Air Canada announces mass layoffs. Cutting its workforce in half, 20,000 jobs gone in a month. What this says about a travel industry in grave trouble. BC will reopen schools as others cancel summer camp,
I'm quite concerned of what summer is going to look like.
leaving some parents scrambling. An inside look at Canadian testing. Putting antibody tests to the test with rapid results in just 15 minutes. Planning for a very different university experience this fall.
If classes are moved online, will residences still be open?
What will happen to international students?
We put your questions to school executives. This is The National. On the same day, the federal government announced a plan to boost and extend help for companies, a plan to salvage jobs. There is crushing news tonight from a major employer. Air Canada is cutting at least half of its workforce. The numbers are staggering. Of 38,000 workers, 50 to 60% are losing their jobs as of the beginning of June. That's about 20,000 workers or more. In a statement, the company blamed the global pandemic and its long-term impact on the airline industry, saying, even when the economy does reopen, we do not anticipate our business will return to normal anytime soon. Our senior business correspondent, Peter Armstrong, joins us now. And the size of these cuts, Peter, what does that tell us about what Air Canada is facing?
Well, that it's in an unprecedented time. That, Air Canada has already told us they had reduced its schedule by 95%, Ian. The question wasn't how bad was it going to be at the peak of the crisis, but what it was going to look like in sort of the near future, the medium term. And today we're getting a glimpse at that. And it sure isn't pretty. I mean, in a given year, last year, say, Air Canada normally flies like 51 million customers a year. That's 1,500 flights a day. And what they said in a memo to employees today is that Air Canada hopes to ramp that back up to maybe 25% of last year's capacities. It's obviously going to need a lot fewer employees to manage that. And so they're looking at as many as 20,000 people laid off.
And that is despite the wage subsidy program.
It is, and they say, look, we'll continue to use the wage subsidy program for those who are continuing to working, but the program was designed for companies to keep employees on the payroll until the economy reopens. And what they're saying here is that when they look at what's going to happen in the airline industry writ large, when the economy does reopen, they don't anticipate business returning to normal. And we have to all think about, what does that mean for us and for our communities? If they're reducing their flight load by 75%, what will that mean for cities and towns that are so dependent on air travel and air service to get them employees and customers and everything else?
All right, Peter, thank you very much.
You bet.
Earlier today, the Prime Minister sweetened a program to put workers back in their jobs. It's part of the government's list of costly coronavirus measures that just keeps growing. The latest report shows nearly $152 billion allotted. That means a ballooning deficit, at least $252 billion, according to an optimistic estimate. It's not just spending that matters. The stalled economy costs a fortune in tax revenue. So that plan to help employers hire workers back is crucial. But as Catherine Cullen shows us, it's nowhere near as popular as those $2,000 checks from the Canada Emergency Response Benefit.
Clothing store owner Laura McNutt wants to hire back her only employee, but the amount she could pay her using the government's wage subsidy isn't as much as the CERB.
She's very prepared and wants to work, but I, as the business owner, I can't ethically ask her to earn less.
The federal wage subsidy pays up to 75% of an employee's wages and encourages the businesses to pay the rest. The federal government is counting on it to reconnect people to their jobs.
That wage subsidy is going to be a really important part of the coming months of recovery.
But uptake has been slow compared to the CERB. It was launched first and nearly 8 million people have applied. But so far, only about 1.7 million have returned to their jobs through the wage subsidy. Today, the government announced it would extend the wage subsidy until August, hoping that certainty would convince more employers to sign up.
You now have some runway to catch your breath as you get restarted.
They're also tweaking the criteria and including previously ineligible employers like amateur sports organizations and groups like the National Ballet School.
So please, bring back your employees.
But in New Brunswick, jobs are going unfilled, and the Premier is blaming the CERB.
I know many people are on the 4-month program right now that the federal government supplied and feel little obligation or reason to move into a job at this stage.
Workers can potentially earn more under the wage subsidy, something the finance minister said today should be an incentive.
That said, we are looking carefully at the relationship between these two benefits.
The federal government is still working on the crucial question of how long to keep offering the CERB, knowing that millions are relying on it, but wanting those who can to transition back to a job. Catherine Cullen, CBC News, Ottawa.
This is usually a night so many people look forward to, the start of the Victoria Day long weekend, the unofficial kickoff to summer. But this year, while celebration may feel more necessary, it is more risky as well. The word from federal health officials, don't let your guard down. But that's about the only instruction that applies everywhere across the country as different areas ease different restrictions. And as Bonnie Allen tells us, that has some worry that frustrated Canadians will go too far.
The first rusty swings of the season as Saskatchewan's golf courses open just in time for the long weekend.
Oh, I'm really excited. We got some beautiful weather finally. It's nice to just kind of get out and not stay in the house.
Michael Inglis is golfing with a few buddies, and strict physical distancing rules apply.
But I'm still going to be alone in the woods trying to find my ball.
The rules all across Canada are ever changing, the messages at times conflicting and confusing. So some just try to keep it simple.
I've been going on some social distance walks, so I plan on continuing that with my dog, Rosie.
Big plans this weekend. Going to get on my bike and do some bike riding, and I think the weather's shaping up for some gardening.
In rainy Toronto, where the reopening is on the horizon, Catherine Kruklis is worried.
It makes me nervous, to be honest, like that suddenly people can get very excited and fair enough, want to do some things.
While most Canadians have been compliant so far by staying home and staying apart, some behavioral scientists and infection control specialists say that behaviors and attitudes could change now. Why? Confusion, complacency, and discontent. Different rules for different parts of Canada can foster dissatisfaction. And 2 months into the pandemic,
it's possible, I think, for people to really start getting overconfident and to really let up far more than any of the rules are saying we should. And there's danger there.
As for enforcement,
we just don't have enough bylaw officers or police officers, and we've always relied on the public, and they've done an incredible job. You just can't police 14.5 million people.
So a little advice this long weekend.
Don't focus on the rules so much as focus on how can you stay safe.
Bonnie Allen, CBC News, Regina.
Staying safe was also the message in Toronto, where city-run summer camps and recreation programs have now been cancelled. And as the CBC's Ellen Morrow tells us, it's not the only place Canadian kids and parents are feeling that disappointment.
Okay, so which one are you making?
Delia Scriver had been counting down to camp, to kayaking with friends. Instead, summer will look a lot like this.
If we went to camp, that'd be lots of people, and it would be a lot of risks.
3, 2. Camp canceled means more pressure on Lisa Gordon, a working single mom of 3.
The uncertainty of knowing what's coming next and providing all the things that kids need to grow while I'm still working.
Across Canada, these scenes of summer won't happen this year. Hundreds of camps have already said they won't run. Others are waiting to make a final decision. No easy answers in a pandemic.
You're weighing the risks of lives of staff versus the mental health of kids that is so crucial right now.
A lot depends on where you live. In BC, some camps are planning to open. Not so, though, for city-run camps in Toronto.
The programs, as originally planned, cannot go forward in our new COVID-19 reality.
For the Easter Seal Camp in Saskatchewan for people with disabilities, it will be the first missed summer in 66 years.
Many campers have said that coming to camp is more important than Christmas.
Camp Odyssey in hard-hit Quebec has canceled sleepover camp, but it's still hoping to make a go of its day programs.
We still want them to play and have fun, so we'll have to find a way to keep, the social distance that is needed by the authorities.
Flip this up. For Gordon's family, they're just trying to make the best of a summer they didn't plan.
The disappointment of, oh, this COVID is going on for a lot longer than we all anticipated.
Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Toronto.
Students in British Columbia will soon be heading back to school if their parents choose to send them. But classrooms will look vastly different than before COVID. Laura Lynch has the details.
So you got the idea here, right?
After weeks of learning from home, grade 10 student May Watson, her brother and sister, will soon have the chance to return to school. Sort of.
It's time now, starting on June 1st, for students to have the option to return to school on a part-time basis.
Attendance will be staggered. For students from kindergarten to grade 5, that means 2 to 3 days a week. For the rest, 1 day per week, all on a voluntary basis.
Our genuine desire to make sure that no one feels pressured to do this. I understand if parents or children are anxious about going back to classrooms, and I want to assure you that we would not be making these announcements today if we felt there was an undue risk to the health and well-being of the youngsters that are going into our schools.
In fact, 5,000 students, children of essential workers, are already back in class, offering a glimpse of just how different school is during the pandemic.
The majority of them found it very challenging. There was a bunch of tears and just getting used to the obvious routines of washing hands, not bursting each other's bubbles, and maintaining that social distance even with their teacher, which is so challenging.
And teachers have other worries. They're not certain they'll be given personal protective equipment if they want it.
Schools have been historically underfunded, and so even having soap on a regular basis is not something to be taken for granted in lots of schools.
Even with the commitment to caution and cleanliness, health officials acknowledge there is fear.
We will be monitoring this situation in schools and daycares very closely.
The reassurances aren't enough for May Watson.
I think I'd rather do it online at home because it feels safer that way.
Nor for her father, Robert.
Our family would choose to keep the kids at home. We're not essential workers.
Parents and students do have a choice for now. September, though, it's back to class for everyone, perhaps making it that much harder to learn together while staying apart. Laura Lynch, CBC News, Vancouver.
And so provinces continue to ease some restrictions as they work to slowly reopen.
Effective today, outdoor gathering limits are being increased to a maximum of 50 people.
Alberta's limit for mass gatherings jumped up from 15 today. As long as people maintain their distance, the province stressed the expanded number does not apply to indoor gatherings where the risk of transmission is higher.
Our collective actions are flattening the curve. That's why we feel it's the right time to talk about more opportunities for social connection.
Nova Scotians are now able to expand their social bubble. The province now allowing 2 separate households to spend time together without physical distancing. However, they must not have close contact with any additional households to minimize the risk of spreading the virus. Lobster season on parts of the East Coast opened today after delay over COVID-19 concerns. The global pandemic has already caused the price to tank, but there'll be yet another COVID-related problem when the lobster comes ashore. Harry Forrestel explains.
It's an early morning start for the lobster fleet in Neguac as boats glide out of harbor. Those empty traps piled on deck will soon be filled with lobster, ready to be sent to processing plants to be shelled, canned, and frozen. Maybe.
It's going to be devastating, and I'm not sure where it's going to end up, honestly.
Turns out lobster processors like Russell Jacob have a problem. Not enough skilled laborers. Fish plants here usually hire temporary foreign workers to fill the seasonal jobs New Brunswickers won't do. Premier Blaine Higgs banned that practice just over 2 weeks ago, calling on the province's own unemployed to step up.
If the seafood industry or our agricultural industry needs more workers, I am counting on New Brunswickers to answer the call to ensure businesses that need workers will have them.
But with no applications for his jobs, Jacob has instead turned to local middle and high schools for workers.
We have, as of today, I'd say there's probably 40, 45 students that came in looking for work. I didn't know we could hire 13-year-olds, but I guess we can with the parents' permission.
It's true, and other seafood plants are also hiring students to work their production lines. A step in the right direction, says Premier Higgs, but still a long way to go.
You know, I think it's a sad commentary on our province if we have 70,000 people unemployed and that basically we're not able to find enough people to work in the opportunities that exist.
For the lobster industry, it's one more challenge among many this season. The fishery started 2 weeks late, so crews could be trained in COVID-19 safety measures. And even when the lobster are landed and processed, the economic fallout from the COVID pandemic will mean low prices and limited buyers. Harry Forrestel, CBC News, Fredericton.
Canada now has more than 74,000 confirmed COVID-19 cases, more than 5,600 of those fatal, and most deaths among those in long-term care. According to Canada's Chief Public Health Officer, long-term care deaths represent 81% of the national total. That's similar to the percentages we're tracking in Ontario and Quebec, but in Nova Scotia it is far higher. Those in care represent a sobering 96% of the province's COVID-19 deaths. That is overwhelmingly driven by an outbreak at a single facility. The Northwood Long-Term Care Home in Halifax announced 4 more deaths today for a total of 49. Kayla Hounsell shows us what that toll means for officials and families.
Hello? Linda and Nelson Carvery are amazed they can still Skype with Linda's 98-year-old mother.
Did you miss me? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I miss you, too.
She survived COVID-19, but their 37-year-old son Derek, who lived with cerebral palsy, did not. Both lived at the Northwood Long-Term Care Facility.
It's the disease itself. It's unknown. We don't know what it does or where it goes, but we're learning.
Nearly half of the residents at Northwood, more than 200, have been infected with COVID-19. 49 have died. That accounts for almost all of the deaths in the province.
There's been far too many deaths and far too many cases of an outbreak that I feel should never have happened in the first place.
How did this happen?
That's a good question, and we do have experts on site working with us to go through that. But staff coming to work hadn't realized that they had been exposed and weren't displaying symptoms or minimal symptoms and continued to come to work.
This is also an old building, and unlike many newer facilities, residents here share rooms. Many are now moving into single rooms, but Northwood didn't have the capacity to do that in the early days of the pandemic. The facility started requiring staff to wear masks ahead of both the national and provincial guidelines, but in retrospect says it would have done so even earlier.
This just reminds us that when you delay the implementing of key evidence-based pieces of information in a fast-moving pandemic, days can actually translate into lives.
The Premier is defending the response of both the province and Northwood.
Long before the federal government made any protocols around long-term care, we locked down our long-term care facilities. We were preventing family members from going in. The only people allowed in were people who were working in there.
Still, there have been calls for a public inquiry. The facility says it would welcome that.
Hi, Granny.
The Carverys say they feel Northwood did everything possible. They're grateful her mother is still alive.
And when this is over, we will be together. You understand?
Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Halifax.
Ontario and Quebec have turned to the Canadian Forces to help in seniors' homes struggling with COVID-19. It's a mission of care that has consequences. 5 soldiers have been infected and an undisclosed number are in quarantine. As Murray Brewster explains, there are questions about how prepared they were for this fight.
It's not your typical military mission, and it's now clear close combat against a virus comes with risks.
The women and men of the Canadian Armed Forces have always stepped up to do difficult and dangerous things when called upon.
A handful of soldiers sent to the so-called front lines of the pandemic have tested positive for COVID-19.
We need to make sure that we are doing everything we can to protect them.
Just what is being done to protect soldiers is rapidly becoming a matter of urgent debate in the military and health communities.
We knew up front that this was a part of the risk for our forces.
Citing privacy, the military would not discuss details of the 4 cases in Quebec nor the one in Ontario. how sick the soldiers might be, or their prospects for recovery. How much protective equipment the troops don depends on the extent of the outbreak in the homes where they're deployed. They're taking their cues from provincial health authorities. And that worries some former soldiers who tracked the pandemic deployment and say protocols were not followed at this nursing home in suburban Montreal.
We do have concern about the safety of soldiers because with the information provided to me, one of the soldiers who got infected, they were, the soldiers that were at this location were changing in the same room.
The military insisted soldiers were trained on how to put on and take off protective equipment.
We are ensuring that proper measures are followed.
With so many unknowns about COVID's long-term health implications, veterans advocates say the federal government should declare the pandemic deployment a special duty operation. That would allow soldiers to claim veterans' benefits if they need it. The Prime Minister says he believes the military is looking at that. Murray Brewster, CBC News, Ottawa.
As provinces begin to reopen, testing will be key to controlling the spread of COVID-19. Next on The National, we take you inside a Canadian lab now testing those tests. And students ask their questions about what the fall semester could look like during a pandemic.
I don't live in the same town as my university. Is it worth it for me to go back there?
What will happen in regards to residences?
And later, hundreds of Canadians sing alongside Blue Rodeo. We're back in 2. For Americans, there's an added layer of stress and hardship during this coronavirus pandemic. Health insurance. Not everyone has it. And as the CBC's Katie Simpson tells us, millions who did lost it when they lost their jobs.
The health scares Daniela Skeeny has faced over the past year are terrifying. Fighting cancer, she was without insurance for 5 days in March while her husband changed jobs. In that short window, she got COVID-19 and had to be hospitalized.
I went online and I saw the bill, which was $35,000, and it just made my head explode.
And that is only for COVID-19 treatments. Even though the president approved a bill to provide emergency funding to cover some costs, as Skeeny found out the hard way, it's far from a blanket policy.
You have to apply for every other type of aid that you can possibly apply for first, and they have to deny you, and that takes weeks. Then the hospitals can forgive the cost, but it is up to the hospitals. There's no guidelines.
Her bill has not been forgiven. As a public health advocate, she also worries about the millions of Americans who've lost jobs and subsequently their health insurance in this pandemic. A new study found of the 27 million newly unemployed in March and April, 21 million will qualify for some form of public health care coverage, meaning 6 million are now without health insurance.
My fear is that we're going to have a second wave of suffering as a result of people going without needed health care because they can no longer afford it.
It's a fear shared by this Detroit doctor who is hearing from patients fearful to seek treatment.
Some of them are telling me, oh, you know what? I was really sick last month. I probably had the COVID. I almost felt like I was going to die. And I was, well, you didn't call us. Did you go to the hospital? No, I knew there wasn't any cure for it. And I was scared to go to the hospital, and I was scared of medical bills.
Before coronavirus, polls showed most Americans liked the health care coverage they had through their employer. But with the jobs crisis deepening, the public mood may shift. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
The U.S. president, meanwhile, unveiled a new aggressive plan to develop a coronavirus vaccine by the end of the year.
Through Operation Warp Speed, the federal government is providing unprecedented support and resources to safely expedite the trials, moving on at record speed.
That is right. Operation Warp Speed being billed as a partnership between the government and private sector to find and distribute a vaccine. Trump says, though, vaccine or not, the American economy is reopening. Governments everywhere are marshaling their scientific resources to tackle the pandemic. Today, Briar Stewart got rare access to a BC lab that's working to verify whether we can rely on new tests that are being developed.
Inside this provincial lab, staff are doing about 700 COVID-19 tests a day, about a third of what they were doing at the peak of transmission.
Our average turnaround times are less than 24 hours.
But on top of finding out who currently has the virus, they're now testing other tests, those designed to detect COVID-19 antibodies to determine who has already been infected.
We know that probably a small proportion of the population has been infected, perhaps 2, perhaps 3%.
Antibody testing has already been rolled out in several countries, but some tests have given a higher rate of false positives and false negatives. So the focus here is to find out which ones really work. And this is another company's product, and we have more products. They're also looking at various rapid blood tests, which can give a result in 15 minutes. Many of the samples they use come from long-term care homes, but to demonstrate, they took my blood too. A prick of the finger, and then the blood goes on this strip. And then you wait. You have nothing. So that means white. That means that you have never been exposed to COVID-19. A positive result shows multiple lines. These aren't official results because they don't yet know how well these tests work. They hope to one day use them in remote and rural areas where it's more difficult to send off a blood sample. Summer is coming up, so there might be some tree planters, some blueberry pickers. So there will be a quick access to these things. This isn't the only lab studying antibody tests. Work is also being done in hospitals, including Vancouver St. Paul's. But once they figure out which tests work, there's another looming question. Does a positive result mean you have immunity? That is $1 million question at this point. What kind of protection do the antibodies give, and how long does it last? Briar Stewart, CBC News, Vancouver.
We have known some of the risk factors for getting severely sick with COVID-19 almost since the beginning, age, for example, and some other pre-existing illnesses. Now, as Tashana Reid explains, some are adding obesity to that list.
The NHS has saved my life, no question.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson survived COVID, but reportedly says the reason he got so sick and wound up in the ICU, his weight. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control said last month that obesity put people at risk of getting hit hard by COVID-19. Today, Canada's top doctor wouldn't go that far.
I think enough of an observation that we need to absolutely look at the relationship between obesity and the severity. It could also be linked with other comorbidities or other medical conditions as well.
Dr. Tam says obesity was a risk factor during the H1N1 pandemic. But the Health Canada website currently does not list it as a factor for COVID. It does name heart disease, hypertension, and diabetes, which are linked to obesity. A UK study of 17,000 patients found people with obesity had a 33% greater chance of dying.
They're at increased risk of getting admitted into the intensive care unit and having complications from the COVID-19, likely due to their elevated weight.
Dr. Sean Wharton says not only could obese patients end up critically ill, but they're more likely to get sick at all.
We believe that may be due to the fact that they're more immunocompromised.
Dr. Jennifer Sang has treated obese COVID-19 patients and says they present unique challenges.
Most patients with obesity have compromised lung function and they have heart diseases. They often have low-grade inflammation.
Researchers say they hope to see Canadian data looking at the link between COVID-19 and obesity for a better understanding of the risk factors and how to mitigate them in the future. Tashana Reid, CBC News, Toronto.
Next, students go to university and college filled with questions, but never quite like this year.
What's going to be happening with larger class sizes for the upcoming fall semester?
We'll put questions to the people planning back to school and later.
It's therapeutic. It's good for you. It makes you feel good.
A growing demand for going green, the booming interest in gardening during a pandemic. COVID-19 has turned Canada's post-secondary world upside down. Just think about the main features of campus life. Residences, lecture halls, libraries, clubs, sports, and parties. It doesn't exactly scream physical distancing. So this fall, returning and incoming students will face a lot of challenges, like how they'll be taught and where they'll live. Lots of questions for post-secondary decision makers to answer. And joining us now, two of those post-secondary decision makers. Ann Sato is the president of George Brown College in Toronto, and Santa Ono, the president and vice chancellor of UBC here in Vancouver. So we have some questions from university and college students, and the first one deals with that very issue of physical distancing, which I think is going to be easier in some places than others. Let's hear Ali's question.
I know a lot of universities have already announced that they're going to move online for the fall semester, and I was just wondering what would happen to those courses that have a mandatory in-person component, such as labs for organic chemistry.
So Anne, that is going to be a challenge, whether it's chemistry or other things. How are you going to deal with the labs, for example?
Well, this is a question near and dear to my heart, since so much of what we do in college especially is about applied education. While our faculty are being amazingly creative and changing things up, we are changing how we teach or when we teach certain things. So maybe we'll start with theory and then get onto the labs a little bit later in the semester. We'll be using simulation software and virtual reality, which work very well already in a lot of our programs. And in fact, this summer, we'll be trialing and piloting, bringing back some students into labs with the right physical distancing and the right controls so that we can make sure that we keep them healthy and safe.
And Santa, what about at UBC?
Very, very similarly, we will be using simulation and virtual reality. We also are actually mapping out what we can actually do face-to-face on campus. We believe that we have the facilities to have some of that happening. I guess one thing that's unique is we think that not so much for chemistry, but maybe for engineering, that we might actually be able to send some of those materials for a laboratory to a home if someone is actually studying from home.
So with all of these things, there's the question of, what can you do online, for example? What can you simulate? But then there's that whole sense of campus culture, right? And this brings us to the question that's next. It's from Sarah, and it's one that I know a lot of students are wondering about.
A lot of us future first years are curious about what will happen in regards to residences. If classes are moved online, will residences still be open for students? And if not, what will the universities do to compensate for the loss of networking and connections that is made through living on campus?
Santa, what about a UBC?
Well, we really are thinking intensively about how to provide that. This term, actually, we had almost 8,000 or 9,000 students staying on campus throughout the term. So we really have had a chance to test this, and we are able to have students in residence and also to provide meals in a grab-and-go kind of situation. So we are confident that we will have students in residence at UBC.
So I think back to the residences my kids were in, one at UBC, one at Bishop's in Quebec, and I can't even picture what physical distancing, Santa, would look like in there. How have you managed to do it, for example, in the summertime or in the spring, I guess, at UBC?
We're very fortunate that most of our rooms at UBC are singles. And certainly we'll be working very closely with the public health authorities to make sure that we abide by all public health guidelines. But we have singles, and we will certainly have to step up hygiene and cleaning of shared bathrooms. And we have also have certain lounges and areas that people congregate off limits. So we have some experience with that.
And Anne, George Brown, you have at least one residence. How are you going to manage that?
We do, not as many students, but we actually have about 175 students living in our one residence of normally 500. We have a newer residence, so it has, again, standalone units, and we've moved one student into a 2-bedroom unit so that we can make sure that they're safe. And as we're doing this, we are working out the plans for the fall to ensure that we can accommodate more students and still keep them healthy. And we also have a number of different food options that we've arranged and made available, which are proving very positive this summer.
All right, let's get to another question now. This one is about international students.
My name is Aditya, and I'm an international student at Ryerson University. My question is, what will happen to international students? Will schools be accepting less of them or any at all in the fall?
Santa?
We certainly are accepting international students, and we actually have an increase in the number of international students that have put down deposits to matriculate at UBC. They're a very, very important part of our institution. They contribute to not only academic parts of the community, but everything that brings UBC together. And so we are expecting lots of international students at UBC this year.
And what's the situation at George Brown?
Absolutely the same. We have about 30% of our students are international students. Many of them are here already and they are continuing their studies. I think the issue will be whether or not students can get visas from their home countries and whether or not they'll be able to travel to Canada for the fall. But our immigration federal government folks have actually allowed students to continue to study online and still be eligible for their postgraduate work permits, which are very important to the majority of the students that come to study in Canada. So we're definitely accepting them and welcoming them, but do expect if they come physically for the fall, they will have to self-quarantine for 2 weeks before they can start their new lives in Canada.
We have 30 seconds left, so not much time at all, but I'll ask each of you, beginning with Santa, how do you feel about the fall term at your university?
Well, certainly the health and safety of our students, the entire community, is our top priority. But we are preparing for a high-quality experience in and out of the classroom, and we're really looking forward to the start of this academic year.
And Anne, last word to you.
Absolutely feel the same way. We're working very hard to make sure that the experience that our students have, even if it is online, at least to start, is high quality and that they will learn all of their outcomes. And we have so many supports available for them in different formats. We're really creating a lot of social communities just in different ways.
Well, for universities, colleges, and so many other businesses, 6 months ago you had no idea you were going to have this big challenge, and good luck to both of you. Thanks for speaking with us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I couldn't sit at home while COVID was starting up in our area.
Next, the retired nurses who returned to the front lines to fight COVID-19. It is National Nursing Week, and what better time to recognize their hard work and sacrifice? Right now, many are working tirelessly in the fight against COVID-19. For some, it is all in a day's work. For others, though, it's a choice. Nick Purdon spoke to 4 women with the Registered Nurses Association of Ontario about why they came out of retirement to join the front lines.
When I heard that the hospital was looking for staff to come back, I picked up the phone and called Human Resources at the hospital, and I was hired within 3 hours, and I was back to work within a week.
In the middle of a pandemic, when healthcare workers are risking their lives on the job, Robin Morash gave up retirement and went back to work.
I wanted to help out in my community, and I couldn't sit at home while COVID was starting up in our area.
Robin is one of a group of 4 Ottawa nurses, all friends, all retired, who rushed in to help. For Jennifer Smiley, the decision wasn't easy.
I think the most stressful and difficult part was talking to my family about it. I think it was a little bit of worry for some of my family that I was going back into a hospital.
Hospitals are where healthcare workers across the country have contracted the disease. But for Barb Byman, they're still where she wants to be.
When I was 6, I was in the hospital, I had surgery. I don't remember much about my experience except for the nurses that were just really kind, and it was just what I was going to do. My parents tried to knock it out of me, but I just kept doing it.
And here she is, despite the risks. And Jennifer, too. In fact, she might have one of the toughest assignments in the pandemic. Imagine being retired, and then you're at the door of a hospital controlling who gets in.
The most challenging part of my role at the moment is speaking to families or friends or neighbors who all want to come in and see somebody at the end of life, for example. It's not normal, right? We're in a new normal in the hospital, so it's not unlimited. So that's very challenging sometimes. It's difficult for people to understand.
Jennifer says it's her experience that's needed today, and that's why nurses were pulled out of retirement. Take Lynn Rostelli. She's faced down deadly diseases before.
I've worked through SARS, I've worked through H1N1. This is definitely at a larger, more serious, more contagious pandemic. But I just felt that kind of experience would go a long way in helping others during this crisis.
Back in the 80s when HIV happened, we didn't know what caused it or what to do about it, and so I worked through that. So I think having that experience gives me more of a calmness in my approach.
At some point, these nurses will do their last shifts and head back into retirement, but they won't be the same.
I think I've learned about myself that I'm still up for a challenge.
Since coming back, I think I've learned about myself that I am resilient and that we are all in this together.
I think it's a profession that we carry with us throughout our life, and we're always a nurse, no matter whether you're retired or not.
Nick Purdon, CBC News, Ottawa.
Next, digging into a new backyard hobby.
We've seen new gardeners that have never gardened before.
We look at the appeal and tips for first-timers and the huge demand now for supplies. Along with baking and binge watching, there's a new coping mechanism for COVID-19, gardening. This spring, many Canadians are digging in for the first time. And as Greg Rasmussen explains, the demand for seeds has become the new toilet paper.
Judy Banky works to prop up some raspberries and her spirits.
It's therapeutic. It's good for you. It makes you feel good. You're outside, it's beautiful. Thank God, right now we are able to get food and it's all good.
Tending plants at this community garden helps her stay busy.
See that thing is blooming?
And escape monotony.
If I would have been home in my little studio apartment with no outside, I would have gone nuts.
For some, it's leading to a spike in business. So many orders are coming in at this seed company, it's had to switch to plain packaging.
We've had a massive surge in demand. We've seen new gardeners that have never gardened before, who've never even heard of us. We've seen gardeners that have been gardening forever, just growing way more than they have in the past.
In some places, with garden centers closed, plants were being dumped. Now those same operators are warning of shortages.
So I'm just going to take my spade and then we place our transplant in the hole.
The boom in gardening is part of what's being dubbed backyarding as people hunker down.
I'm going to plant my second succession of carrots.
Lisa Giraudet designs and builds gardens for people in small urban spaces.
A lot of people are really just excited to grow food, and I think the impetus for that is around, scarcity and health and just really wanting something to do while they're at home self-isolating.
Her advice for beginners, grow easy things such as salad greens and herbs.
What are the crops that you eat the most of, that you spend the most money on? On some of them, you might even be able to see the heads forming.
New ground for many, but rich with promise. Greg Rasmussen, CBC News, Vancouver.
We'll be right back with The Moment.
And we are lost together.
Hundreds of Canadians lending their voice to sing a Canadian classic. That's next. CBC Music recently asked what song Canada should sing together, and you answered. So tonight, we're going to let you and Blue Rodeo sing us out. Sounds great. That is the National for May 15th. Thanks for watching.
In the silence of this whispered night, listen only to your breath. In that second of that shooting star, somehow